Well, hello, Dr. J. Smith here. I'm doing something new. I've not really done this before. I'm advertising someone else's courses, two courses, from friends of mine at the LILIAS Trotter Center that really comes out of Houghton College in New York. However, these two courses are going to be done online using Zoom, so you don't have to go to New York. You just stay in your own house or in your own place, in your office, and you can do it from home. Now, these are done on Mondays and Tuesdays starting next week. So we're starting right away. I'm getting these in just in time. And the first one is this course right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just read the brochure because it's being taught by two friends of mine. And the name of the course is MS604. So it is a course that you can get credit for. There are 3 credits. And it's called Apologetics and Polemics in Ministry Among Muslims. Taught by 2 great friends of mine, taught by Reverend Dr. Fred Farrokh. Let me tell you who he is. I've worked with him. I've been with him. I was just with him 2 months ago. He is an international trader in global initiative reaching Muslim peoples and an ordained missionary with Elim Fellowship. He's from a Iranian background, but from a Muslim background on top of that. So he is a convert to Christianity. He completed his PhD in intercultural studies through the Assemblies of God Theological Seminary in 2014, so 12 years ago. His dissertation was on Muslim identity. He also directs WESLEY Media, which is on YouTube channel, and you can see the URL. I'll put it right down here for Muslim background believers. So that's the first teacher. I've known Reverend Dr. Fred Farrokh, for goodness, maybe 20 years. Another friend, and also a colleague, and one who is actually one of my students, is Dr. Steve Krstulovich. Now, Dr. Steve Krstulovich, he has been with me in other parts of the world. We have been together for about 6 years, he and I. Though he is my student, he's not really my student. He just comes along on all of our courses and helps us out with some of the material we're working on, and then teaches it himself as Assemblies of God at the Theological Seminary there in Missouri. And he is the director of research at the Assemblies of God World Mission Global Initiative reaching Muslim peoples. Prior to this, Steve and his wife Donna, who I know also very well, served together for 3 years in Central Asia. He completed his PhD in intercultural studies to assist him in his role as a writer and international trainer to equip a new generation of leaders to share the good news of Jesus Christ with Muslims. Now, this is a course on apologetics and polemics. Let me just read what the blurb, how they explain that. As Jesus and his disciples model similar ministry methods in the New Testament, this course equips students to apply apologetics. That means to defend the truth, to defend what you believe. And polemics, that's to go on the offense, exposing and refuting the error of the other, in this case, Islam, in ministry among Muslims. Students in this course will learn how to respond to common Muslim claims, such as that the Bible has been corrupted, or that Jesus only claimed to be a prophet, that he never claimed to be a God himself or divine, and that Christians have gone astray in this. In addition, the class will explore the work of popular scholars like J. Smith, yours truly, in other words, my material, and others who question the standard Islamic narrative about the origin of Islam. MS604 is team taught, one during one day, one during 1 week, one during the other week, between Dr. Fred Farrokh and Dr. Steve Krstulovich. Now, this is a LILIAS Trotter course. It's offered in partnership with the WESLEY Biblical Seminary for a significant discount of $1,000 for 3 graduate course credits for those who want to take it for credit. But you can also take it for audit. And for those of you who just want to audit, not to do any paperwork, not to have to write any papers or do any exams, your audit course cost will be $300 if you're American. If you're a majority world student, that means if you come from overseas, the audit course will cost you $100 for all 15 weeks. That's right, 15 weeks, starting next Monday, January the 12th, continuing all the way till April the 27th, which is a Monday, but then it will continue for those who are doing it for credit. You will be able to hand in your material by May the 1st. So that's the first course. Highly recommend. Please take it, but you do need to register. And I have right here the URL, and I'll also put it in the comments right here in the box where you need to register to get ready. Because, listen, we're just talking about less than a week away. That's the first course. Now, the second course is this one here. It's not taught on Mondays. It's taught on Tuesdays. And it's taught by another good friend of mine, Reverend Dr. Benjamin Lee Hegeman. I've known Dr. Benjamin Hegeman since the early part of this century. So we're almost getting on 20 years as well. These are all good friends, and they have had an enormous amount of not only experience on the field, but also engaging with Muslims even ongoing today. Now, let me just tell you more about him. His name is Benjamin Hegeman, but he's known as Papa Ben. Papa Ben, you can call him Papa Ben also when you take the course. He is a lifelong missiological researcher on Islam, a curriculum writer, and a teacher with long-term experience in ministry to Muslims. He also is involved in language learning and in cross-cultural missional ministry in Canada, Benin, and Niger. Those are the two French-speaking countries, two of the French-speaking countries there in Africa. And has also been involved in pastoral care in Canada, Benin, Niger, and also in the U.S. Now, together with his wife, Christine, he has over 35 years of overseas experience working with Christians, traditional worshipers, and, of course, with Muslims. He has taught at all levels, from bush schools in Africa to PhD students there at the LILIAS Trotter Center and also at Houghton College. He is passionate for disciple-making and missionary vision casting. He is able to teach. Now listen to this. Not only in English, but he can also teach this in Dutch and in French and Batonu. So listen, depending on which one you would rather, you can either get it in all of those. I know he does teach this also in French. For those of you who want it in French, he will be doing a separate course just in French. Now, this course, what is it called? A Chronological Reading of the Qur'an and the Islamic Narrative of Muhammad. Let me read that again. A chronological means chronologically going chapter by chapter by chapter of the Qur'an and the Islamic Narrative of Muhammad. So looking at both. This is done on Tuesdays. The other course, which is MS604, is done on Mondays. This is done on Tuesdays, also in the morning, from 8:30 to 10. But it's done on 2 days of the week. So I just said Tuesday, did I say? In fact, I emphasized it twice. Actually, it's Tuesdays and Fridays. It's for an hour and a half. This course here is done only 1 day a week, Mondays, and it's for 3 hours. This one, however, to get the 3 hours every week, you have an hour and a half on Tuesday morning. That's 8:30 to 10. And then you have another hour and a half on Friday morning from 8:30 to 10. That is East Standard Time. Eastern Standard means the time that I'm talking to you right now. That's the East Coast of America, United States. 8:30 to 10, Tuesday and Friday. Now, this course gives Muhammad a thorough hearing as students read through the Qur'an and the Sirah, the oldest biography of his life. This course decodes the Qur'an and explains Muhammad's ever-evolving narrative. It enables students as an academic jury throughout the semester to render a verdict on Muhammad's message based on his own words. Only Muslim clerics and intellectuals study these source documents at this high academic level. MS620, this course, will equip students to engage in conversations to the spiritual benefit of their Muslim friends, so you can use it on the field. Also to their colleagues and also to their neighbors. This course is rigorous, yet rewarding. Again, this is a LILIAS Trotter Center course. Since it's an academic course and it is 3 credit hours, it will cost $1,000 for the 15 weeks. And it is 15 weeks. It goes from January 13th. That's a day after that course. That is on Monday. This is on Tuesday morning. And then Friday mornings each week for 15 weeks, all the way up to May the 1st, 2026. So $1,000 if you're doing it as a full-time student. If you do it as an audit student and you are an American or a Canadian, it's $300. And if you do it as a majority world student, that one's from someone from overseas, it's only $100. And you need to click here below. You'll see where you are to click to register, and you do need to register. Hurry up. You got to register before next week for both courses, for both of these courses. So this one by my two good friends, Fred Farrokh and Dr. Steve Krstulovich, and this by my other friend, my good friend, Dr. Reverend Benjamin Higman. I'd love to be there with you. I've known much of the material they're teaching. Some of it is even my material. But these are great guys. These are ones that have had so much experience. They're my age. And those of us who have gray hair, we have an awful lot to give you. And that's why we're doing this. Not only have they all been on the field, they're now also in theological institutions, which means this is just for Christians. So those of you who are not Christians, do not register. This is not for you. I know that a lot of you have got upset because you say, this is great material. I'd like to learn about apologetics and polemics. I'd like to look at the chronological method and look and see by looking at the Qur'an and also the Prophet Muhammad's life. I would love to do this, but sorry, this is seminaries. This is theological seminary material for theological seminary students and those who are working in the Muslim world as Christians. It's only for them. That's why you have to be a Christian to register. Okay, great. I hope you do so. I'm not going to be there, but they are, and they can't wait to meet you. God bless you. This is Jay, over and out.